I know these guys in this room know your story and know you well, but I thought I wanted something that just kind of made it personal. And so you decided not to do letters, but what you did was Hanna wrote a story. And I want to share you just a bit of your story. I asked for the story of how you met. She says, Brady and I went to the same middle school together. We never really got to know each other since Hannah's 2 years older than him. They knew each other, but they hadn't officially met until the summer of 2017. He was playing baseball at Columbia State when I noticed him behind the plate as the starting catcher. I was sitting with my dad, and when Brady took off his helmet, he just had this hair. That's in all caps. And I remember asking my dad his name because I recognized this boy. And Dad said, well, Hanna, that's Brady Johnson. And he gave all the stats on him because Dad thought she was interested in baseball. And I looked him up on Instagram, and I gave him a follow. Brady said that when he saw Hanna Slatton followed him, he didn't know what in the world to think. Well, about a month passes, and still nothing from Brady. It's a rainy Sunday in April, and led me to game time. She was opening the facility. Columbia State Chargers were practicing there that afternoon. She said I was not dreading it because I knew Brady was with the team, so here was an opportunity. So she sat front and center at the front desk waiting on Brady. One by one, the guys started piling in, and finally, towards the end, I see that hair. I ended up going back to the batting cage when it was Brady's turn to hit and proceeded to tell him that I ran the social media accounts for game time. So I needed to post a video of him because I needed a Columbia State baseball player, good advertisement for the company, but it was just an excuse to get to talk to him again. And so he said it was good, and he showed out in the cage for me, and I still have the video of him hitting to this day. But again, nothing came of it because Brady can't take a hint. Well, of course, I follow him on Snapchat, and at this point, he knew something was up, but he was still so shy, so nothing came of that. So what was my final step? Well, she convinced her dad to hire him for one of his camps. Hanna got up the nerve to ask Brady out. The next day, he texted back these romantic words, "Are we hanging out tonight?" She writes everything they said in that 4 hours. But no, they just got to know each other so well in that time. And Brady at some point said, "Where have you been your whole life?" And it was at that moment that they just knew. When you know, you know. But she just writes, "I don't remember what life was like before meeting him. He's the sweetest love I've ever known and such an answered prayer. And meeting Brady and falling in love with him more and more over the last 3 years has been a dream. And I'm so grateful the good Lord allowed our paths to cross as they did." It's just a great story. And I do believe that God has brought you guys together. It didn't just mean God brought you together. Now, because Brady and Hanna have pledged their love to each other in the presence of God and in the presence of these witnesses, because they've sealed that covenant by the giving and receiving of rings, by the authority given to me as a minister of the gospel, I now declare you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Yeah.